What happens at New York Fashion Week stays at New York Fashion Week. No, but not with us, right?
Not with us.
We had a very exciting week. We will talk about the wins, the fails, or the fails that we turned into wins, and also what happened else. We did a meetup, so a lot of things going on, and we will also talk about at what stage are we in the process, what we have done to build this social circle from scratch, and where we are right now and where we want to go and how we're going to achieve that. So that's the topic for this episode, and stay until the end, because we will have big things planning, especially for coming week. And let's start off. So how was last week in your opinion?
I would say last week was my favorite week so far. And by the way,
really,
where are we? Don't they want to know where we are?
Yeah, we are still in New York, and we are staying in New York.
Yes, but we're in the East Village.
Right now, East Village.
In the 6th Street Garden. So
Avenue Garden,
yes.
Something like this.
Always a new venue, which is what's great about New York. So this week was our most exciting week yet, because we had a lot of compressed networking activities within a small amount of time. And then on top of that, Julian put me up to some specific challenges in terms of my ability to go out and approach and talk to people.
Exactly. So this one big thing. We can start off maybe on Wednesday. We had the first meetup in a rooftop in Brooklyn, Harriet's Hotel.
Yeah.
No, it's the lounge. The rooftop is called Harriet's, but the hotel is the pub. I don't remember. What's the name of the hotel, actually?
The hotel is the One Hotel.
The One Hotel, okay.
Yeah, and
it's a very beautiful location, rooftop.
Yep.
And we got some guys together where we know from different networking groups, slightly that we met here. And then we had around, in total, at some point, we were 11 or 12 people in total.
Yes.
Which was very great. We had a great night. We could connect with people. Get new insights about the city, make connections. And that's what we're all about for here, to build a social circle that we need in order to achieve our goals. So what's your impression about the Wednesday meetup networking event?
My impression? Well, I'll say this. So like a lot of people had their impression of me doing this here was just that it was all about meeting women and that was going to be the only thing. But actually, my first event was bringing the guys together. So I thought it was really cool. I would say that it was really refreshing for me, because boring networking that you go to when someone else does it, you find maybe one or two people that you maybe have some sort of networking things you can do stuff with. But everyone there was accomplished. I found two people who I really see something long term. I think I'm going to be running an event with someone there. So for me, I thought it was really great to meet a lot of people who were on the same page as the things that I was trying to do, and they weren't being I go to a lot of these networking events. They're like, oh, it's so cool, you travel the world, blah, 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 tell me about it. And then I talk to them and they're not really doing anything. So everyone there was doing something with their lives. Yeah,
everything was in this hustling mode or in this mode of wanting to achieve something, having goals, all like-minded guys. And what I also really liked, it was very, very diverse, from an architect.
Yeah.
And then we're doing online entrepreneur. You are doing a lot of other business stuff. And then who else did we have? We have from a marketing agency owner.
Yeah, to an events person.
Event organizer. So everything from fashion, business. Also, there was one guy, not about. I don't remember what exactly did the one in we call him Bob maybe, but he did a lot of different stuff, and also many have a lot of different things they are working on. Some they are working on something technical, then insurance company, software. So getting different guys together in different fields is very fruitful.
Yes.
And this gives you a wide range of different perspectives you can take with you and learn. And that was the goal of the meetup, to network, to exchange ideas, also share stories. And some we
Absolutely.
also took pictures of the nice rooftop, so everything kind of
Right.
falls into.
And maybe you could say, like, how hard is that doing that? Like, it's not hard at all. Like, it really wasn't that much work.
No, you. Of
Lot
course,
of
you find the
value.
people, you invite them, and then when they actually come there, you find out more about them.
Right? And the people there, I would say, like, we didn't know all of them.
Yeah.
Like, they were maybe 1 or 2 degrees away from us, which means that, like, maybe we knew them a long time ago or they were a friend of a friend. But there was a lot of trust because we sent out the invites in a way that showed, like, first, when we sent out the invites, we showed a picture of a previous event we had done, and then we kept the invite tight. So it wasn't like trying to sell it to them. It was like, here's what we're going to do. Would you like to join? And we got a lot of good feedback from that. And I will also say that some people missed it, but they wrote me later saying, oh, I want to go to the next one.
Yeah, exactly the same to me. And also when we talk about building a social circle, it's one important thing is, especially when you do the invites, is that you have some kind of a proof or some kind of concept that you know, hey, if you come there, that's what you're gonna get, and that's why you should come here. So you, how can I say, you go to certain triggers that people just understand what it is, and it's not just like some loosely meetup, and people can actually come there and meet other like-minded individuals that they want to connect with. So I think that's very important. And one thing to do is to have proof if you have done something similar in the past, or you can get some kind of, even if a simple picture of a past group event or something, this already brings people in and they are curious. And the other thing is, if you have social media, Instagram, that is on point. So if you message people, the first thing they are going to do, they will check out your social media profile. And if you have only, let's say, strange stuff on your social media, then people just won't be interested. But if you have cool things going on in general and they say, hey, that's actually a guy I would like to connect with, then people are just more keen to come out.
That's right. And one of the guys we connected with ended up hanging out with us at other events. So, and you know, I want to say something else, because like I get a lot of advertisements for networking. So, you know, paid networking services like Parlor, and then there's one called Same Kind. But I think what's appreciated is that you, functioning as the organizer, can create your own events, and you don't have to rely on someone to curate them for you when you can curate them yourself and ensure high quality from the jump, from the start.
Exactly. And it's, in our case, there's no big pressure. They just need to show up. They don't need to pay a fee for it. Nothing. They just need to come to the rooftop and maybe buy a water for $7.
Yes, right. It was like $7 for water. There was no tap water. That part was annoying. I think I spent $14 on water that night. I was very thirsty though. Okay, so just remember to hydrate, you know, before you go out. One last thing I think that people should know: what is the importance of picking? Like, why did you pick Harriet's versus like, oh, we could have met at a park like this?
I mean, one thing was we just went there before. It was on our list to research different places, to visit different hotspots that we also talked about in the last episode. So we went there, and I was thinking, hey, that's actually just a cool place. The rooftop is very nice. You have a cool view on, you see the Brooklyn Bridge, you see the skyline of New York, Manhattan.
Yes.
So it's like a very curated, I would say, high quality place where you just want to hang out. And then I was looking at the area, and there are a lot of different areas in the venue where you just simply can meet people, bring people together. They can stand somewhere, they can grab a drink at a bar. So it's a very easygoing environment, and it's a very welcoming environment. That's why I thought, okay, well, let's do it at this rooftop, and next time we will do it in a different location.
Right.
But it was just very welcoming, and I like that.
And so, like, when we think about it, when people out here are watching, you know, I think a lot of people get confused because what they'll do is they'll say, oh, they'll pick like a neighborhood dive, or they'll pick their like local wing spot, you know, something with sports. you know, it all depends on the vibe you want to curate. So if you want people who are doing things, who are not going to be like distracted when they come, like you can pick rooftop spaces, spaces that have like natural beauty to them, are aesthetically nice.
Yeah.
Maybe on the expensive side a little bit, but if you're not sitting down for dinner, you don't have to pay anything. So,
yeah, exactly.
This is a way you can do it without spending a whole lot of money.
Yeah, and also if you choose a location that is just welcoming, that is nice, that's also another point.
Like this location right here, yeah, right.
That's also, if you would choose a nice location, that's also another point why people will come out, because probably say, oh, that's like a cool location. Maybe I have not been there, or have been there several times, and then people are then just more likely to come out too, because they say, hey, well, I have never been there, or it has been some time I've been there, I would like to check out this place. Maybe I get a cool picture from the rooftop. But we also talk about a lot of creating content, so that's also like another plus point why you should choose a cool location. So
all right.
That's all about the meetup. So let's move in a little bit more about our first event, New York, for the New York Fashion Week. So New York Fashion Week is a very, very special event. I've never been there, so
me neither.
But it's all about fashion, models, events, networking. You meet a lot of great people. So the first event we went there, was it on Friday? Was it Friday? What did we do on Thursday?
Thursday was our first event, was it not?
What did we do
We
on
had Thursday, Friday,
and Saturday?
and Saturday.
Today is Sunday.
What did we do?
What did we do on Thursday?
We did
That's a big
something, okay? We went to...
I don't remember
Hold on,
what we
let me
did on
just see.
Thursday.
Just give me 1 second. Let me see if I have it on my calendar. But that's like the thing. We did so much that like... I feel like Thursday... I know we went out.
Yeah, maybe we did something small on Thursday.
Probably went to Mr. Purple. I feel like... Oh, Thursday, I think we did the speed run for me.
The speed run?
Yeah.
What was the speed run?
The speed run was me doing 10 approaches.
Oh, yeah, that was
Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, Thursday we did a small... I did an experiment
to get me,
and challenge with Jordan.
Because I was relying too much on these enclosed spaces. Like, networking spaces are really easy for me, but I still struggle to just approach people, just get it out of my system at clubs and things like that. So,
yeah, so the challenge was very easy. I said, okay, we somehow need to break his hesitation of doing these approaches. And I was thinking, okay, let's do a quick challenge with him. It's approaching strangers on the street. And the challenge was he needs to approach at least 10, in this case 10 girls on the street in half an hour. So he has 30 minutes time to complete the challenge. If not, you lose money.
Yeah.
So basically, he gave me $200.
I got 2 crisp $100 bills from the ATM.
Yeah, ATM.
And I handed it over to him.
Yeah, and I was already very lucky and was hoping, praying that he will fail the challenge. So he only would get back the 200 if he succeeds the challenge, what means approaches 10 people. And I, in this case, girls.
Yes.
And I had to see it. So he had 30-minute time. So how did it go?
Well, I did 11 approaches in 30 minutes, so I did get my money back.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. You know, it was actually really good. Yeah. The thing is, it started strong, but as I kept going, it kept going farther and farther downhill. Yeah. And Julian caused a fire.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it went downhill. I would say, like, I thought I would get better at it, but I think I compare it to, like, going to the gym. You know, the first few reps might be stronger than the last few, but you've got to push through the last few. I think I did well on it, and I realized, like, by the 9th and 10th and 11th that it just didn't matter who I talked to or what they said. But, like, it became kind of, like, in the moment, it kind of became anxiety-inducing, to the point that I was burnt out, that later I didn't want to talk to anyone. But then the next day I woke up and I felt really like, let's get at it. And so it's like in the moment it's hard, but then later, like the muscle does build up and you do get better at it. Because then the next night on Thursday, I feel like we just like...
Friday.
Or Friday, yeah. On Friday, we just tore it up.
Yeah, and that's like the thing. You do this to overcome you fear, and it's also more about that you realize that you're actually capable of doing it, and nothing will happen.
Right.
And the next step, especially when we talk about social circle, is to do this in the right environments, which we then did on Friday. So that's like the next step on Friday. On Friday, we went on this official Fashion Week event.
Yes.
And it was like in a great location in Gotham Hall. A lot of beautiful people, a very nice upscale event. And then we were in the right environment to actually then connect to the people. And I remembering we already started to talk to people. When you were waiting in the line, I was still in the entrance, figuring out some things, how to get in. And then Jordan was already in line. He started to talk to people in the line, which is always good. Because you're just standing there, everybody else is standing there. So that's an easy one to start. Just talk with people who are in front of you or who are after you. And that's very easy. How did that go?
Well, I knew that when you left, that when you came back, I needed to be talking to someone. So I was like, all right.
I was going to think, is he going to do it or not?
Oh, okay. I just knew. I knew that like when you came back, I had to have had opened. So like I already had it in my mind, and you know, like, thing is, like doing all those one after another just made me realize like the burn sets, like they're not gonna matter. So if these people aren't interested, you can talk to other people. So I talked to the people behind me. They were kind of open, a little cold. But the other thing is I've started incorporating some of the things I've seen Julian do. So like you'll notice that when I talk, like right now I'm talking very fast, a lot of hand movements, but when you're in specific spaces like loud places, lines, a lot of that could be too much. So now I shorten my words. So what we did is, I heard the other people next to us speaking German. So all I just said loudly was, they are speaking German. Like I didn't say, oh my God, they're speaking German. I just said it like no contractions either. They are speaking German. Yeah. And then they heard us.
And then they actually started to, or basically approaching us and saying something to us. And then we came into the conversation, like smooth. And then we basically kept talking until we get into the venue. We even took a cool picture with these girls. That was like a pretty cool start. And what happened then from there?
Well, you know, in the venue I was still just a little nervous, but I just kept talking to people, just finding my opening, being okay with some of my jokes not working. Like my favorite is, the long nails are really in right now. The girls. So I always just say, is that like for lottery tickets? Are you scratching lottery tickets with that? So I would say 2 out of 3 times they're into it. One group kind of was like, haha, and then they moved. Yeah. They moved away, but most everyone was into it. And then the other thing is, I just kind of put down the pretense. So if someone looked like a model, I was like, are you a model? And finding out that most of them I'm talking to were not, because they're there watching the show, but they were all impressed. And then, I moved away from just talking to girls. I just started talking to literally everyone, because everyone seemed really nice. And what I really like about the fashion space in particular is that they're very into networking. So you can go to like a tech networking event and everyone can talk about networking, but mainly people just talk about themselves or their projects, and they're not like, here they were just like very open, very warm. Very like if you ask for an Instagram, like it's just assume that you're going to. So.
It's like I also felt the same. Everybody I talk to, girls, guys, it's just hey, let's connect, let's stay in touch, and you also find a lot of different backgrounds, and everybody is kind of interested in fashion, but everybody still does something else, different tech jobs, different careers. So even an actor. So it was very very cool. And one big advice when you go to these events. So there's like these like this room where everybody comes in, and there is like this step and repeat where everybody takes pictures, like a red carpet kind of thing. And then if you go into the hall, there's this the showroom where the models walk. But the real networking is actually done in the entrance hall, more or less, because people standing around, they're taking pictures, they are in a very talky mood, and you just stand next to them, or you help them to take the picture, or they take a picture of you. You get to talk with them. So it's a very easy environment to network, to make approaches, to find out about what the other people are doing, and that's a very easy one. So if you just go to these events and in the beginning you see where all these people are in this opening space, that's where you can make the connections, and then afterwards it's more easy to bound. Then you go then into the event and everybody sits down and then is focused on watching the event. In this case the models presenting all this fashion. So then people are more concentrated on this. But after it and before the event, you can make your introduction, you can meet the people you want to meet, and everybody is just open in this kind of environment.
Yes, definitely 100%, and it was nice to see that. It was nice to experience that and to deal with fears that I had about that, because it confirms that people are so much more friendly than I give them credit for. And at a certain point, you start being the chooser of who you want to talk to, which is nice. So instead of being afraid of everyone, you realize, you talk to some people. There was one person I chatted with. She really just talked my ear off with respect to her. And I was like, all right, I got to go mingle. But I think before all of this, I would have been just too afraid to talk to her and just would have been thought she would have dismissed me out of hand. And one other thing I want to say about all this that I learned, it's the way I look at this is during the week you prep, right? It's you go to, I used to run cross country, so you go to a race. Whenever you go to something with sports, you never really know what's going to happen, so you control the factors beforehand. So we collect people's contact and Instagram. I prep before going out. Now I make sure I'm hydrated and have a snack with me and things like that actually do help. But once you're in it, you don't have control over your environment anymore, so you just have to let go and see what happens. And so that night was very interesting, right? Because we made some great connections at the event, and then we signed up for this VIP event afterwards.
It's
which was
we can so that's from this night it was very, very positive. Everything worked out, and then we had tickets to an official VIP after party. And it was not in the same venue, it was in a different venue, so we actually walked over and trying to get in this venue, and then we found out that actually the organizer, it was just a general rooftop. It wasn't
they really didn't reserve a spot for us.
They didn't really have they had reserved spots, but they didn't have enough spots organized than tickets compared to tickets they have sold. So what happened is the venue, there are people coming there, they had 30 seats available or in two tables, and you have suddenly, let's say, 80 people where they sold tickets to, and then of course 50 people suddenly couldn't come in, and then they started off this little confusion. And
but I want to say it could have burned our night, right? We could have just given up. But instead we went in anyway.
We went in anyway.
With a good attitude.
With a good attitude. We paid a cover to get in.
$15.
But then I was saying, okay, we pay the $50, we get in, and then we actually go to the table.
Yes.
Where they have these other reserve spot, and we just find some organizer, and we basically crash the table and say, hey, we paid for this, and we are here now, and we want to want to get what we paid for.
Yes.
Eventually.
And everyone there was in the same boat. They dealt with the same issues, so a lot of them came later too, and didn't have places to sit. So what did we do? We sat down in a place, and we just started networking. You know.
Exactly. And so from a fail, at the beginning, you thought, oh shit, I had a lot of different expectations of how this gets set up, because if you talk about a VIP entrance thing, you think, oh, that's very exclusive and will be very
carpet.
cool, and then you come there, and then your people have promised you something, you created a certain expectation, and then it just not it's it is just not like you had in your head, and that's
Right.
kind of at the beginning you think, oh shit, like that's like a fail, and then you think, okay, what can we do
Exactly.
to turn this fail into a win, and not just give up.
Because we did that, we met like some really cool people in tech.
Yeah.
I met some like photographers. I met the director of operations for like the
New York Fashion Week
for the bureau. Yeah,
organizer.
that put on the event that we just saw.
Yeah.
Really good connection. I really connected with him. And then randomly, one of our other model friends who we met.
Yeah, that's
earlier,
like from other events.
She shows up, just walks right by us. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, all right. And so
Yeah.
then we get connected with her.
Yeah.
And so then also we got like a
Yeah,
Bacardi shows up,
Yeah.
like a bottle of rum just shows up. We didn't pay for it, so like.
Suddenly we had a bottle of Bacardi, soda. We got even some
we got
pizza slices.
Yeah, right.
So suddenly it's like Jim
A
showing
weird
up.
mojito. You got a weird mojito.
Yeah. I mean, it was alright. It was like a raspberry mojito or something. So,
But the point is,
Yeah.
like, if you are too stressed, if you're in your head,
Yeah.
then you don't get to have these experiences.
exactly. If you give up, if we could have just because at some point you said, hey, should we just go somewhere else and give up, charge it to the game,
Charge it to the game, right?
Like I call it, and I said, no, at least we should, kind of stay here because we are already there, and then go from there eventually, and then we just went in, got a bottle, we had a great time.
Yes,
and,
right. And then that bottle like had brought us to other adventures across that club. And so I would say, like, for me, old me would have just given up, would have just said, oh, this sucks. But like the point is that you prepare beforehand and then the game starts, right? Like, so, like right now people are playing American football, like you don't know the outcome, but you're there until the game ends. So
and you don't don't give up. You can always turn around the game in the last minutes or
Right.
last seconds.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like, the plan is that like the stay plan is the same as the go plan, right? No matter what you do, you're
Yeah.
running social circle for the night,
Yeah.
which means you go meet people, you do networking, you get their information, and you provide value. You know?
Yeah, and also if you in this case, like if you have a bottle, you can, because we don't drink a lot.
Yeah, right,
So,
so we
what
share
happens? We just invited other people. They were sitting like
Can I
these
tell
girls
you, like,
on the other side of the
Yeah.
table, and one looked at me and I just waved her
Yeah,
over
right,
here
we're
to
just
get a
waving
bottle,
people over.
get some of the Bacardi. So that's
after the second shot, I just faked the rest of them. I just pretended like I was hitting him.
I didn't really. I mean, I
right.
had maybe 2 shots, but then
Exactly.
let the other people drink
Mm-hmm.
if they enjoy drinking, and it's a good way to invite people, and you have something on kind of value to
Yes.
provide, and then people just will network with you. They like the gesture that you are inviting them. That was
and
a
what happened?
cool one. Yeah.
I loosened up. Okay, so I started.
Yeah, we
approaching
finally
people.
could talk to people.
I loosened. No, but for real, like
Yeah,
I
I know.
loosened up. So I started approaching people. I stopped caring. I didn't think about it as though we had something to offer. I just thought, and then there was someone I wanted to talk to, and then she left. She left after we talked to her. So I just went up and interrupted her with her friends and was like, "Hey, I didn't get your Instagram."
Yeah.
So like that. Do I usually do that? I don't do
No,
that
no,
unless I want something, right?
Yeah,
but I started moving from a place of conviction, right? Like I
Yeah.
wanted it,
Exactly.
so I went and did it.
Unless you meet like a famous person on the street. Then
Yeah, right. So all of this started like just me being like him telling me to do 10 approaches. Was I saw someone famous in our neighborhood who I knew of, and I was like, oh my god, it's this person. And then I chased them down.
Yeah,
but
and I
not
was
like,
like,
hey,
dang.
but like just from the side, in the same way that like someone who might do pickup might do. So like I chased him, and I was like, hey, are you? And he's like, oh, and he was a total professional about it. He knew exactly how to play it. Like he asked his questions, and at the end he's like, all right, I'll see you guys. He did the fist bump, like total power move.
Yeah.
But yeah, afterwards he was like, how come you're not like that?
Yeah, how can he not be like this all the time when he wants to connect with people with the same energy, the same
Yes,
mindset?
right.
Everything would be a lot more
You
easier.
know what it is? I
Yeah.
consider myself a minor Microsoft Excel celebrity. So I see
Yeah.
him as a celebrity, so I'm just like, I don't get
We
his
are in the
world
same
exactly.
field.
Not exactly his world, but I kind of get it. Like when I used to have my podcast, people would come up to me and say, hey, are you Jordan? So it's like, I knew it, But yeah, like just talking to people randomly without any goal in mind except for just practice, like that's different to me. So it's kind of like if I know what I'm talking to you, the reason I'm talking to you, it changes the game. But you don't always get that. Like if you always relied on that, you may only talk to 2 or 3 people, like at a networking event when you should be talking to everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And one important thing to include here when we go back talking about creating a social circle in a systemized way is that all contacts you do, guys, girls, women, whatever, who it is, we get an Instagram and then we build our CRM. That's like one important step of doing this in a systemized way. So having all the contacts you made saved somewhere, or it can be a simple Google sheet. I call it CRM, that you list down the contacts you made in order to have the overview to then do invites if you need to, or if you want to see the people again. So you have an overview with who you connect with and what are the next steps to grow your relationship with them.
Yeah, and I think we'll provide the CRM. We'll send ours out once we're not with the information.
Yeah, at some point,
but with the template.
Yeah, it's definitely in the Skool group.
You guys can make your own. You can fill it in with your own information.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll provide the template for that. It helps for me to be an Excel wizard, running that. But you don't have to be one. The biggest thing is just to take the time to do it. And I think that's important because despite the fact I'm good at Excel, as Julian pointed out maybe a week or so ago, I wasn't doing. So like you have to make sure that you're disciplined enough. Once you get into the mode, you'll see this is literally a 5-minute task that brings like a significant amount of value, because once you have that list, you can invite people to other stuff, which I think brings us to like, so we did we talked about the models or the fashion show we went to, and then we talked about the rooftop party afterwards and the things that happened after that. But then we went on a boat, right? And you were able to bring someone. You were able to bring our friend who we met actually for like, like we had met her before at the pageant, and then we saw her at the rooftop. So you were able to bring her.
Exactly. Last night we went on this boat was like different organizer, different designer. I kind of knew the designer a little bit from another friend, so that's also a connection. So we talk about social circle, and then we said, okay, let's go on this boat event. And I was texting him in the afternoon, hitting him up, and then we met, like Jordan mentioned, first of all, at every first big event we went here at this model competition. We met one girl and we kept in touch. I put her on the CRM, and then she's showing up.
Yeah, right? Because we built a social circle.
Yeah, we are building a social circle. This is the power of social circle.
You run into people within the network. So.
And then I was saying, okay, we're thinking, well, this guy is doing this event show, doing this boat show. Probably he might needs another model. So I hit him up and I say, if I have a friend that would like to join to this boat party, to this boat show, and I sent him her Instagram, and he immediately said, hey, bring her. You bring her. She can walk on the boat. You walk on the show. And then I told my new model friend, I say, hey, join us to the boat and come out. And she was right away, yeah, I will come. And that's how you build in a social circle. You provide value, and then the people just coming out and they appreciate it. So last night we went on this boat. We had like this. We saw the Statue of Liberty, the skyline, New York, cool. And there was like this catwalk on the boat.
On the boat,
with a lot of different models. A lot of, let's say, narrow space, where it's very easy to talk to people. So how did it go last night for you?
I would say, like, I went up and I chatted with everyone who was just open to chat. What's funny is that I chatted with this guy at the start, and he totally like blew me off. He was like, yeah, I'm just waiting for my friend to show up, and clearly his friend left. Or his friend did not make it. The boat left without him.
Oh,
but the guy didn't come up to me later and say, hey, sorry, so he was kind of an asshole. But I do feel like him, like, you can take a look at that and you could give up, old me, or you can just say, you know what, I'm going to clock that and remember that. So I'll probably not talk to him anymore and just talk to everyone else. And I feel like you know, I looked around and I saw my open energy and everyone else's open energy, and it was very easy to meet everyone else. I gotta say, like, old me would have tried to like come up with things to say. New me is just like, if I have something to say, I'll say it.
Yeah.
The person next to us looked like she was Swedish, so I was like, "Are you Swedish?" You know, like, so I asked her, and she was. But otherwise, like, if I don't have anything to say, walk up, make the eye contact connection, just say, "Hey, I'm Jordan," you know?
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Exactly.
Or always a simple thing is just comment what you see in the environment.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can do any of these things, but I just want to say, like, if you can't even, like, old me, like, sometimes I still get a little stuck on, oh, what should I comment on? Like, if I literally have nothing, if I go brain dead, then I'm just going to say, hey, I'm Jordan, you know? Not every interaction has to be perfect, especially if you're talking to everyone. You can always come back and be funnier later. And again, the funny thing about Social Circle is I met another friend who I had met, like, last year. Seriously, like, maybe weeks after I met Julian. I met her through someone else. She was on the boat. And then some other things are, like, I've started to really enjoy photography and filming. And so I was filming a lot of the models as they were, like, doing the boat catwalk. And a lot of the photography turned out pretty well, just me with my iPhone. And so I just went up to them and I asked them, would you like this? And I airdropped it to them. And this was just a great way to offer value and meet them. And, you know, in particular, our mutual friend, she was like, you know, you're a good photographer. And I never really thought about myself as that, but I've been working on it for over a year. So this is really just showing me that I have maybe this skill that is underdeveloped that actually could be very useful.
Yeah,
here.
yeah, it's very useful and a very easy way to provide value. And I mean, what's also was very good in this boat party last night is, you know, people just can't go nowhere. They're like for 2-3 hours kind of on this boat, and you know, you basically forced to connect with people, and everybody was just open to connect. And it's so easy. Like you're just standing.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you're just standing next to somebody and just say hello, or they ask you, or they, you know, I had people coming up to me saying, hey, what's going on, and
definitely,
and then you're just in a conversation. You don't think about, oh, what should I say, what do I not, just, you know, let it flow, and then, you know, you go to the other spot, and then you run into the whole people the whole time again and again. And that what means like mere exposure, getting familiar with these people in a very short of time, because you just, if you walk around, you see them over and over, they see you over and over, and that's just build a connection. And then it's very easy to talk to everybody, exchange contacts, build your social circle. And that's why these very private, exclusive events are actually the way to go for us to make something happen here in New York. And I think until now we came quite far.
And I will say though, like, I have to, like, I'm still working on like approaches outside these spaces, but these spaces are a lot more easy for me. You know, like, I could rely on them as a crutch, and so I will work both. But I will say that, like, just for those, if you're still working on it, you know, it doesn't matter if you show up shy at the first few. You just got to keep going, because I think compared to how I was weeks ago, you can see a major change. You know, I'm just looking at other people who are kind of coming into our network who are new to this, and I see that their shyness, and they're still going up and talking to people.
Exactly. I still eventually, also if you lead as an example, if you do a lot, then other people will also, especially if they are together with you, they also say, hey, I can do this too, and that also motivates them by leading, by being an example. And then people also, you know, want to follow. They want to be more social. If you bring a good energy, people just want to give you a positive energy back.
Yeah, and I think that what you really do is you hone your own sort of presence. So when you first start out, you act like other people, but then you start dialing it back and calibrating for what works for you. So what's interesting to me is in 2 different spots we went to, people asked me if I worked there. So I think that I am giving, maybe it was how I was dressed as well, because I was wearing a white shirt. Like, I probably do give this sense of authority in the way that I hold myself. And that has made me maybe colder to people. You know, I run a business, so I do sometimes when people are talking to me, especially if they're loud, I have this almost skeptical face. And rather than totally removing that and faking like I don't have that, I just try to dial it in. I try to make it funny, but also still be present to how I'm feeling. You know, I would say, maybe you'll laugh at this, like, I like to think of myself like James Bond is an introvert, all right? Like, he really is. Like, he doesn't say much. You look at the characters like Brad Pitt plays, like, these are often more introverted characters. Maybe not Fight Club, but like...
Yeah,
you know,
but they are grounded. They have
like
frame,
yeah.
They have frame and are grounded.
Exactly, and so I see myself as that. So they're social and vocal, like, it's not like they don't know how to have fun, but maybe they observe more than they talk, but they can have fun. And so instead of like totally removing that character, I'm just trying to dial it in more. But you can't be that thing all the time.
Exactly.
Because then people won't approach you because they'll think you don't want to talk to them, all right? So you do need to be a person who has leadership, but you don't have to be the loudest person in the room.
If you
don't want to be.
Yeah, and if you bring up this openness, sometimes just an open body language helps a lot, and not being like very, crossing with the arms or like, just standing somewhere deep in the corner. It's very difficult for people to get in touch with you. So if you walk around, if you have the open body language, you just bump into people, you just meet people then more naturally at just standing somewhere in the corner. So if you just would walk around with an open body language, then it will be also more easier that people will come up to you.
Yes, but I will say, like, maybe you'll disagree with this. When I'm vibing, like, this is easy to fall back on when I'm not. When I'm vibing, my arms aren't up here, they're kind of a little lower, and I'm like, like I'm kind of playing this game like I'm thinking about what they're saying, and it can work comedically, It can, if you're in it, it can work. Like, it almost makes like people like, why are you like trying to open you up a little bit? But it's still, you have to start like this. Okay, you still have to start open,
especially
warm.
Because if they don't know you yet.
If they don't know you. But like, you can return, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you can return to your baseline body language. And in fact, once you become natural at this, that's exactly what you will do. And you'll be able to run it naturally and be calibrated with it. So you don't always have to play someone else, but you do need to figure out how to bring people into your world. You can't rely on them just to think you're so interesting that they're going to come up to you. That is, fame maybe kills that, but I got to be honest, like, no one else was chasing down the guy I met on the street, only me. So like,
exactly.
And he was famous, he's on TV,
So nobody really realized, I guess.
Even then.
Like, or didn't have the courage or whatever.
I don't know.
You never know, but and that's like the one thing. That's why you build the muscles of learning communication skills with totally random people, but then you apply what you learned there in the right environments, which then brings a lot more success because you already can talk to people in a hard environment, and then it gets so easy in these kind of easy environments. And that's where you then have a lot more success to build your social circle, to meet the people that you want to connect with. And the next steps is then, when you build a social circle, is to keep the connections going. So that's something we then need to discuss about in the next times, how we actually then keep these connections going, that you say, hey, these are now my friends, or these are maybe a girl you would like to date with, or people you want to keep more close to you. That's then somehow, there are certain things you then need to do to keep connecting with these people and with these individuals, and that's very important. But that's too big topic for today. But 100% in the next weeks, days, we will talk about that.
Yeah, how should we wrap it up?
Yeah, we will slowly wrap it up. So what's coming next? This week will be a next meetup on Tuesday. So that's what's coming next. There will be also an official page where people can register. Yep.
But this is mainly just registering with the guys in the network. So it's still kind of like...
it's like a weekly meetup, networking event. I named it the Inner Circle NYC.
But it's mainly for like Is it for everyone, or are we trying to target mainly the guys that we connected with?
Basically for everyone. Everyone who feels invited, who thinks that wants to meet like-minded individuals. We have different, like from every field.
So we're going to be
like
using...
If you are ambitious, if you want to meet cool people, then that's the meetup. You can hit me up on Instagram, hit up Jordan, and then we can send you the more information, and also a page where you can register to come to the event completely free. No strings attached.
Exactly. You can join. Listen, if you want to see how Social Circle works, how we're building it, somewhere in a city that really runs perhaps too much on status to a fault, but like you can build genuine connections, help achieve your relationship as well as professional and social goals, you can join us and you can see it firsthand how it's done. And we're excited to help you with this because we think that this knowledge is something that everyone can use, and it's not the type of thing you learn in school. It's something you learn from your friends. It's something you learn from people who've done it.
Yeah, and of course that's like the meetup, like a networking meetup we do on Tuesday. But on Wednesday, we will start a challenge.
Yes, we're running the
challenge. On Wednesday, we are starting to run a challenge for everybody in New York that wants to build a social circle, or that needs, this last push in order to get started. So it's a 3-day challenge. On the first day, we go deep into planning and your goals, and actually find out a vision how a social circle of your dream can look like. It's an online meeting on Wednesday, and on Thursday it's all about magnetic communication. When you go out, how you communicate with people, how you build connections. And then on Friday, there will be a very special experience. So the first 2 days of the challenge, you will get assignments, no worries for each day. But the third day will be a very special experience. And what we do?
I don't know yet. It's special.
Okay, it's a special experience. So
it's
we
can't
go to that. But what we can say, it will be an in-person experience where you have the opportunity to meet us out here in New York. And we have a very cool thing planned. So if you want to take part of it, get in touch. It's also completely free. We do this challenge for free. You can get into our community too. We will receive a lot of value from us. And then you can get to know us in person.
Right, and like, comment, subscribe.
As always.
As always. If you haven't done that yet, then you need to do it right now.
Yeah.
Please.
Maybe we should have said it in the beginning.
They know.
They know. Okay. Then I will see you next time. Everything else is top secret.